I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, April the 25th, 2016. Tens of thousands gathered this morning at the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City to receive the traditional priestly blessing, Birkat HaKohanim. The blessing is given twice a year during the intermediate days or Chol HaMoed of Passover and of the Sukkot holiday. Western Wall Rabbi Shmuel Rabinovich said today everyone felt a wonderful unity at the priestly blessing ceremony, attended by Jews from all over Israel and abroad, regardless of their outlook. The Women of the Wall group, who advocate for equality at the holy site, had wanted to hold their own female priestly blessing at the wall, but Israel's Attorney General had ruled that such a version of the ceremony violated local customs at the site. However, Women of the Wall did hold a Passover holiday prayer service at the Western Wall yesterday. 7 members of a Jewish extremist terror cell were indicted this morning. The cell was recently uncovered by Israeli authorities, who made several arrests, as we reported to you over the last few weeks. The members are suspected of perpetrating terrorist acts and hate crimes against Palestinians, including violent offenses and weapons charges. A large majority of the U.S. Senate signed onto a letter to U.S. President Barack Obama urging him to quickly reach an agreement on a new defense aid package for Israel. 83 out of 100 senators signed the letter, which was spearheaded by Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and Democratic Senator Chris Coons. Reuters cites the letter stating that in light of Israel's dramatically rising defense challenges, we stand ready to support a substantially enhanced new long-term agreement to help provide Israel the resources it requires to defend itself and preserve its qualitative military edge. The letter is asking for an increase to the current Memorandum of Understanding with Israel, which expires in 2018, hoping that the president will sign off on the increase before he leaves office. And staying with the president, Obama extended his best wishes for the Passover holiday. The president said, referring to the Jews' exodus from Egypt, this story of redemption and hope, told and retold over thousands of years, has comforted countless Jewish families during times of oppression, echoing in rallying cries for civil rights around the world. The president noted that this Passover marks his family's last Seder in the White House. He said, a tradition we have looked forward to each year since hosting the first ever White House Seder in 2009. May this season inspire us all to rededicate ourselves to peace and freedom for all of God's children. From our family to yours, Chag Sameach. The Graduate Student Union at New York University passed a motion on Friday to support the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement that seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel. The Graduate Student Organizing Committee, or GSOC, is a labor union which represents the graduate teaching and research assistants at NYU, approximately 2,000 people. The motion Friday to support BDS was approved by 2/3 of the 600 union members who voted. It calls on the union and its parent union, the United Auto Workers Union, to divest from Israeli companies. It also calls on NYU to close its program at Tel Aviv University, claiming that Israeli policies with regards to the Palestinians violate international law. NYU rejected the call, and spokesman John Beckman told Capital News New York that NYU has a long-standing position opposing boycotts of Israeli academics and institutions. He said this vote is at odds with NYU's policy on this matter. It is at odds with the principles of academic freedom and the free exchange of ideas. And it is even at odds with the position of their own parent union, the UAW, referring there to the United Auto Workers Union, which rejected a BDS resolution against Israel back in January of this year. Brazilian musician Sergio Mendes announced he will be performing in Israel this summer. Mendes will take the stage on June the 23rd at the Caesarea Amphitheater and June the 24th at the Zappa Club in Tel Aviv as part of his international tour to celebrate the 50th anniversary of his renowned album Brazil 66. Mendes joins a slew of international artists set to perform in the country over the next few months, despite ongoing efforts of the BDS movement to get artists to boycott Israel. Among those artists coming to Israel, Julio Iglesias, Deep Purple, and Elton John, all performing in the Tel Aviv area in May, with Beach Boys frontman Brian Wilson, Alice Cooper, Duran Duran, and Barry Manilow among those coming to perform in Israel in June. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS from Monday, April the 25th. At 7:30, Red Tent author Anita Diamond talks about her new book, The Boston Girl, from the Jewish Historical Society of Fairfield County and the Harry Bennett Library in Stamford, Connecticut. At 8 o'clock, Barry Schrage, who is president of the Jewish Federation of Boston, critiques his own predictions 10 years earlier of a Jewish Renaissance in a program of the UJF of Greater Stamford, New Canaan and Darien, and Young Israel of Stamford, from Young Israel Stamford. At 8:30, Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Dani Danon, gives an update of UN resolutions pertaining to the State of Israel. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with radio host Yishai Fleischer on L'chaim, and at 10, Emmy-winning comedy writer Alan Zweibel talks about his career in television from the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Election 2016, where Mark Golub is joined by Executive Director for Public Policy at the Orthodox Union, Nathan Diamond, who weighs in on the candidates. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, April the 25th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.